He arrived in Los Angeles with nothing. No money, no English, and no connections. When he was 30, he worked in 3 grueling jobs, scrubbing floors, cleaning coffee shops, and manned gas stations. Most people would have given up, but he didn't just survive, he built a global fashion empire from the ground up. This is the story of Do Won Chang, the janitor who created Forever 21, a brand once worth over $6 billion. Behind the neon lights and fast fashion lines lies the journey of grit, vision, and an unbreakable belief in the American dream. Here's the story of the man behind the label and what his legacy can teach you. Do Won Chang was born in 1954 in South Korea, a nation recovering from war and struggling economically. His childhood was simple and modest. His family worked hard to make ends meet, living in a society where opportunities were limited, especially for those without privilege. Education and discipline were emphasized in his household, and from an early age, Do Won understood the importance of hard work. Growing up in this environment wasn't easy, resources were scarce, and life demanded resilience. Still, young Do Won showed a quiet determination that would shape his future. He took on small jobs, delivered goods, and helped in shops while dreaming of a better life. In 1981, at 27 years old, Do Won and his wife Jin-suk made a daring choice. They left South Korea behind for the United States, seeking new opportunities in Los Angeles. They didn't speak much English, had little money saved, and didn't know anyone in their new home. Their first apartment was cramped and humble. Neither Do Won nor Jin-suk spoke good English, which made everything difficult, renting an apartment, buying groceries, even asking for directions. They were often treated as invisible, or worse, dismissed for their broken language and humble appearance. Do Won recalls moments of isolation, where the noise of Los Angeles felt overwhelming, and the silence of being misunderstood was louder still. But he never allowed shame to take root. Instead, he approached each day from the point of view of a student. Do Won took on 3 jobs at once: pumping gas, cleaning floors, and washing dishes. Anything to support his family and save money. He memorized gas station customer phrases. He observed how customers dressed. He learned pricing, product placement, and how to build trust just by watching. Meanwhile, Jin-suk took on hairstyling jobs and supplemented their income by working out of their small apartment. They barely saw each other, sometimes just for a meal or just a few minutes before one of them went off to work again. But what they lacked in free time, they made up for in shared ambition. His wife Jin-suk brought her own talents, a trained hairdresser with a great eye for fashion. She complemented his hustle with creativity. Together, they dreamed of creating a business that made stylish, affordable clothing accessible to everyone. What's remarkable about Do Won is how he transformed every job into a learning experience. Observing customers, noticing what styles they liked, and understanding their needs gave him insights most would overlook. He didn't just work, he worked to understand the market. Do Won believed that hard work alone wasn't enough. You needed vision, discipline, and an openness to learn constantly. He often said that success isn't built one small step at a time, but with patience and perseverance. After first years of saving and hard work in America, in 1984, at 30 years old, Do Won and Jin-suk took their next bold step. They opened their first store, originally named Fashion 21, in Harbor City, Los Angeles. With only $11,000, a modest space, and a small inventory, their business journey truly began. The first store was just 900 square feet big. Do Won personally mopped the floors and installed racks. Jin-suk handpicked every item and arranged the displays with meticulous care. They couldn't afford advertising, so they relied on word of mouth and foot traffic from nearby businesses. And the grand opening was quiet. Just a few curious passersby and a handful of sales. But within weeks, Korean American customers began to take notice. Word spread that Fashion 21 carried affordable, trendy styles that felt both familiar and new. The store quickly gained a reputation for freshness and variety. Every night after closing, they would sit down together to tally receipts, rearrange the store, and discuss what they sold and why. They didn't see the business as work, it was their shared vision coming to life. As demand grew beyond the local Korean American community, they realized their brand needed a broader identity. They rebranded to Forever 21. This name captured the spirit of youth and energy, an invitation for shoppers to feel vibrant and stylish, no matter their age or budget. Forever 21's formula was revolutionary at the time. Unlike traditional retailers who released seasonal collections months in advance, they updated their stock frequently, sometimes weekly. This fast fashion approach kept customers excited and coming back to see the latest trends. They sourced clothing from local manufacturers and wholesalers, negotiating aggressively to keep prices low. Do Won handled operations while Jin-suk curated styles and displays, working side by side for hours. Their willingness to take risks and adapt quickly was key. When an item didn't sell, they cut it immediately. This nimbleness set them apart and fueled rapid growth. Do Won and Jin-suk were devout Christians, and faith played a central role in their journey. They attended Korean churches in LA, not just to worship, but to find a sense of community in a foreign land. Forever 21 reflected their beliefs. On the bottom of every shopping bag, they printed John 3:16 as a subtle nod to their faith. For them, success wasn't just about profits or recognition. It was about stewardship. Everything we have is given by God. We just manage it. This faith helped them remain grounded, even as wealth and fame grew. It gave them purpose beyond the brand. Despite early successes, the road was far from smooth. Managing rapid expansion wasn't easy. Inventory management grew complicated, and the fast-paced style changes demanded constant vigilance. Also, competition grew fiercer, with other brands trying to imitate Forever 21's model. Legal battles over design copying added pressure, forcing the company to defend its brand fiercely. Financial strains also mounted. Leasing multiple stores and fueling expansion required significant capital, and the company accrued debt. The retail landscape was changing, with e-commerce rising and the shopping habits shifting dramatically. Forever 21's heavily reliance on physical stores became a vulnerability. Many industry experts questioned whether they could pivot quickly enough. Yet through it all, Do Won and Jin-Shook's belief in their vision never faltered. They embraced setbacks as learning opportunities and pressed on, driven by resilience and adaptability. The pivotal moment came in 2010 when Forever 21 launched its online store, opening doors to millions of customers worldwide. This move allowed them to maintain their fast fashion model in a digital space, reaching beyond brick-and-mortar stores. The convenience and accessibility helped them keep pace with changing customer behavior. The brand's global expansion followed. Within only 5 years after adding online stores to the brand, Forever 21 skyrocketed. By 2015, Forever 21 operated over 600 stores in dozens of countries and earned nearly $4 billion in revenue. And as Forever 21 grew, so did their family. Their two daughters, Linda and Esther, were born in the US and spent their childhood surrounded by fabric swatches, mannequins, and late-night store talks. Linda would later become the vice president of merchandising, working closely with her parents. Forever 21 wasn't just a business, it became the family legacy. And from the outside, Forever 21 wasn't just a store, it was a cultural phenomenon. It made fashion accessible, fun and fresh, resonating deeply with young shoppers seeking style without the luxury price tag. At its height, the Chang's family net worth soared. Do Won and Jin-Shook were worth an estimated $5.9 billion, landing them a spot on Forbes' list of richest Americans. It was a stunning ascent for a couple who once scraped on by janitor paychecks. But even a billion-dollar empire can stumble. In 2019, Forever 21 filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The reasons were clear: a retail world shifted online, overspending on physical store expansion, and a failure to adapt quickly to digital-first brands. At the first time of bankruptcy, Forever 21 had over 800 stores globally. Many of these were large, costly locations in major malls, spaces that became liabilities as foot traffic declined. The company announced the closure of nearly 350 stores and downsized operations to refocus on online sales and international licensing. By the time of bankruptcy in 2019, the valuation of Forever 21 had dropped significantly. Estimates range between $1 and $3 billion. In 2020, the brand was purchased out of bankruptcy by a group of companies, including Simon Property Group and the Authentic Brands Group, for only $81 million, a fraction of its former value. Do Won and Jin-Shook stepped back from the day-to-day operations. Though no longer billionaires, the Changs were still very wealthy. Their current net worth is not publicly confirmed, but it's estimated between 80 and 100 million US dollars, largely due to real estate holdings and investments. Today, Do Won Chang is 71 years old and lives a quieter life with Jin-Shook in Beverly Hills, California. He no longer appears regularly in the press, but those close to the family say he's focused on faith, family, and giving back. As a devout Christian, he's donated to churches and religious charities throughout his life. He and Jin-Shook continue to advise young entrepreneurs and remain a symbol of immigrant success in America. Their story is still used in business schools and motivational talks as a blueprint of what hustle, grit, and bold vision can achieve. Do Won never chased fame, he chased opportunity. And even after stepping back from the spotlight, his journey continues to inspire countless others chasing their own dreams. If you found the story inspiring, subscribe for more real stories of ambition and success.